Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to the Presenting the New Duda Editor webinar. We're really excited to talk with you today. Before we get started, I do want to cover a couple of quick things. Number one, this webinar is being recorded, so we will distribute copies of the replay to everyone who registered with an email tomorrow. So you get an email in your inbox with a link to the replay. So it is being recorded. Let's introduce ourselves. Who are we?
We don't need to know that.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Cody Zimmer. I'm the Education Manager here at Duda. I do a lot of these webinars and trainings and manage a lot of content on our support portal, do tutorial videos, that sort of thing. And with me today, I've got two fantastic co-hosts and special guests. Ronnie Landau, our Head of Product. Ronnie,
Hi,
say
everybody. Hi, everyone. Super excited to be here. Super excited to show you the new product.
And as well as Ronnie Landau, we also have Russ Jeffrey, our Senior Product Manager.
That's right. I do some of these webinars with Cody, and I work a lot on our product side, and I also work a lot with Duda's partners as well, so kind of straddle different areas of the Duda ecosystem.
All right, so we've got a couple of Duda product experts on the webinar today, and that's good because what are we talking about today, Russ?
We're talking about our new editor. Isn't that right?
Our new product. All right, so let's go over the agenda.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we want to cover, guys, is one, we want to talk about kind of the high-level changes, what our goals were, what we tried to accomplish, what the changes really look like, and what the impact is overall to our editor. And then we'll break that down into an actual demo of going over the changes to some of the global design areas, the pages, widgets, some new design features, talking about a few small changes to Insight, and then going over some small changes to the editor and site settings as well.
Yeah, and then at the end we'll go ahead and cover features that maybe haven't made it over to the new editor yet.
Are coming.
That are coming. And answer some frequently asked questions, and then we'll also save time for a live Q&A at the end. So if you have questions as we're going through, just like normal, type them into the questions box. Ross and I, and maybe Ronnie, if she sticks around, we'll take time to answer your questions at the end. Ronnie, will you be with us for the Q&A?
Of course I will.
Oh, fantastic.
Good.
This is your chance, guys. Ronnie's the head of product, so if you have questions, now's a good webinar to get them in.
Right.
All right, let's hop right in.
So the three kind of high-level changes that we want to talk about are improved productivity. There's a lot of updates that you, our customers, have asked for inside of this editor, a lot of design updates and design capabilities, and even more robust technology as well.
Yeah, so this update really incorporates all three of these things. Like
Exactly.
our goals to make it more productive, give you the stuff that you wanted, and really, really beef up the technology, which I'm
Exactly.
excited about.
So let's talk about productivity here. One is the platform loads 40% faster overall. And what this means is that as soon as you open the editor, you're going to get to editing faster. Also, a lot of the basic interactions have been sped up. Clicking on elements to open the editing menu it's instantaneous rather than 2 clicks away. We've added left-click and right-click capability to speed up the interactions and to get to the menus that you want a little bit faster. We've made it faster to find the widgets that you want inside of the platform instead of scrolling through and visually browsing each one of these widgets. We've improved the global design to make it clearer and easier to understand. The drag and drop is smoother, and content updating across the site for the content library as well, which is really great.
Now, something to be careful about is that right-click, left-click, and we're going to get into this in the demo. It works a little bit differently in the new editor than it did in the old editor, and we'll kind of go into that. That's something you got to get used to.
Right.
Another thing we've done is we've incorporated a lot of your requests into this build. So we've got a new icon widget. That's something you guys were requesting, the ability to put in SVGs and new icons. We've got new layouts for a lot of the current widgets that are inside of there. We've added more social icons for additional social networks and more options for editing those. We've added additional color overlays, so you can now put a color overlay over a background image, not just a video or an image, but also an image. We've got more options for the photo gallery, improvements to the restaurant menu, including photos, which is awesome, and we're going to show you. A lot of people have asked about fonts. We've added 22 new fonts to this
That puts us up over 100 total.
Over 100 total.
Yep.
We've added some great social features with Open Graph support, so that you can specify an image that shows up when you share the website on Facebook or like Slack or something like that. We have more flexible options for choosing the background, so you can really get specific with it and choosing per page.
That's right.
And the ability to create anchor links from page to another page. So it's not just anchor links within the same page. So there's a lot of things that you guys specifically asked for that we listened to and put into this build.
Yeah. And finally is the new technology. And this really allows Duda to what we think is take our editor to the next level, to take the experience to a higher quality and overall ease of use that we didn't have before. We built this in React, which is a front-end technology that Facebook originally released that allows you to build very robust and consistent interfaces. And what that means is, so every time that a new window opens or you see a specific component of the editor, it's using React to render that and show that inside of the browser. And we don't need to get into all the details of this because it's really technical and really complex. But I think the idea behind it is we have a consistent pattern for building out the editor in a way that's faster for both you as the user touching it, but also our development team can move faster and at higher quality with this new infrastructure that we put in place.
So it's 4% faster, and you'll notice that it loads faster, it's faster to work with, and it's faster for us to update.
Exactly.
Nice.
So shall we jump in and start talking about and going over the new editor?
Yeah, let's show it off. Let's get out of PowerPoint.
Yeah.
It's always more fun.
Guys, make it loud.
That's right.
Here it is.
So here we are in the new editor. I've created a new site for the purposes of this demo. One thing and the first thing you'll kind of notice is that both the left and top bar are very similar to what we had before in the existing or the previous editor, but we did go and actually collapse this left bar. What this does is it gives you, as the person editing and designing the website, more space to see what the actual content of the website is. In the past, Duda actually realized and noticed that a lot of our customers collapsed that left panel on the side so they could see the full context of what they were editing and what the site looked like. And so we decided to actually make that left panel smaller, very intentionally on the Duda side.
Yeah, it just gives you a bigger canvas to work with. You're editing a website, and I think I really notice it. Like when I go back to the old editor after spending some time in this one, I'm like, wow, that sidebar is pretty big. And it's really nice having the extra space.
Definitely.
So let's actually go through the sidebar here and talk about all the different parts and what's different. I think the first one is global design.
That's right.
Which is really, really important because we think that as you're going through and building your site, starting off with global design is probably your best strategy. Setting those global styles that are going to be on every page of your site, every element of text, every button, all your backgrounds, getting those set up globally so that you have to make less changes on an element-by-element basis. It's just going to save you time in the long run. And our old global design section was a bit confusing, to say the least. So we stripped out some of the stuff. The color palette is now gone. That's just not something that we're using anymore. And we've kind of reorganized it so it's a lot simpler, a lot more straightforward, it's a lot more accessible, makes a lot more sense. So we've got some familiar stuff in here like global text.
Right, exactly. So in the global text here, you're just getting options for that text style, right? No setting the color in one area and then text settings in another area. It's just, hey, these are all your text settings, color, size, font, all of that. Items that you kind of expect to have would be there out of the box. And even the heading titles as well that you want to come and adjust. We do show a little bit of a preview here right in line. So if I go into the H2 as an example and I want to change the size to, instead of 45, I want to say it's 30, you'll see we'll give you a little preview so you can see what that looks like. It's really handy for a lot of those fonts that you might want to choose within the editor to see what it looks like without actually having to go and see it in the site directly.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So we can go back to the main side menu.
Yeah.
Let's see, we've got our buttons are in here as well, but also we've got something new.
Yeah. Global images, right?
Yeah.
And this is a new feature in the editor and something that was requested as well to allow you to design and choose what all the images within the site look like by default. So maybe I want to add a border to every single one of my images across the site. I can come and add that, change the color here quickly. So maybe I want to do kind of a green color. I think that looks pretty good. And there we go. Now across the site, all of my images are going to have this border across it. And in the past, you just simply couldn't make these changes.
That's awesome. We got that added in. Oh, let's go back. Now, something else that's missing here is the header section.
That's right.
That's gone. That used to be in here too, along with CloudPods. And where did that go, Russ?
Yeah. So we moved the header section just to the header, right? So inside of the editing, you can click on the header. Say, great, I want to edit the content or edit the design, and there's one location to edit the header. In the past, there were 2 different locations to edit the header settings, which was a little confusing, we think, overall. And so we just moved it to be directly in line here, so you edit the header when you click on it.
And that's part of like the whole move towards more consistency, kind of a flatter editor, right?
Flatter experience, quicker to get to what you want it to be. That's right, Cody. Another new feature that was really heavily requested was the background on a per-page basis. So if we wanted to go and say, great, I want to add in a background image just to the contact page as an example, we can do that. We'll go over to the contact page. We will click on the image options right over here. We'll click on image. And we'll select an image to be added into the background here. So we can do this on a per page basis. So if I come and select maybe my pink balloons, as an example, and I'm just going to go and quickly change the row color so we can actually see this. We'll change it on contact here. Yeah, we'll change the background color. We'll make it transparent quickly. So we can now see those pink balloons in the background behind the contact, and that's that page-specific setting, right?
Really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we encourage you guys to check out the global design section. It's a great place to start when you're building your website to get everything set up ahead of time.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Pages. So Pages looks kind of similar right off the bat. It should be really familiar to you if you're not familiar with working on the old editor. Not much has changed at the first glance, but really what's different is if you actually go into some of the page settings here, you'll find that we actually brought them all into kind of like a single page. You've got these tabs up at the top. You can access all of the settings for a page just in this menu right here.
Exactly, right? So I can go through and say, great, I want to set the password of this, or add my header HTML as part of this, or set the SEO. It's all one single page, kind of a little easier to edit and manage here.
Which reduces the amount of times you have to click or reopen a menu.
Exactly. We also here also updated the hide on navigation to make it a little bit easier to understand and use here directly. So we can say, great, I want to hide these options directly inside of the Pages menu as well.
Yep. And pop-up should be the same.
Yeah, pop-ups, not much change as far as pop-ups. You add a pop-up, you choose one of our templates, and you insert that in as part of the site. Mm-hmm.
And what's this new menu called Widgets? That's new. So this you guys may have noticed this. It used to be called Add Elements, and now it's called Widgets. And that's just a change in how we talk about it.
I think most of our customers call them widgets already.
We used to call them widgets before the old editor, and now we're calling them widgets again. So if you read any of our support articles, they're all going to be referred to as widgets from now on. So hopefully that's not confusing to anybody. But this thing has been totally overhauled, and a lot of changes for the better. I mean, the first one that's most obvious right at the top is the search.
Right. So if I want to find exactly what I'm looking for, like, I know that I really want to click to call, right? I can just type in phone as an example, or click to call as an example. Mm-hmm. So it makes it a lot easier for finding that exact widget, especially as this widget library expands, which it will continue to do over time. We'll be able to make it quick and easy to find exactly what you're looking for, especially for kind of our power users inside of the platform that move quickly and know exactly what they want and where it is.
Yeah, I also really like this frequently used section. because as I was building a site last night and I was going through and just dragging and dropping like a lot of a similar element in, and it just appeared right there. It was just super easy to find. It saved me a ton of time. It was awesome.
Right. Like it's cool. Like I just searched for Instagram and it just shows social icons as an example, right? Just to quickly get exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, it saves a lot of time, which is very, very nice. So let's actually show that improved drag and drop.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing we referenced here, and I'll go back to the home page just for this part. I'll say home. Oh, we'll switch up here. Is the drag and drop has been vastly improved. So if I come and grab maybe an image element, just come and drag it in. This is a lot smoother of an experience inside of the editor and inside of the platform. And I can also actually come and insert these into new columns and new areas, which we couldn't do in the past. So now I can insert this over to the right as part of a new column, or just insert it above or below the existing content. In the past, you had to go add a column first and then drag that in to that column specifically. And instead, I can just drag this directly into a new column side by side, which is really nice.
Now, there's a new editing panel for all widgets, right? And we've tried to make this more consistent. So in the past, you guys remember there's multiple tabs in the old editor for like general, design, settings, more, all those things. And so we really try to simplify this. And there's really two. We're calling them editors: the content editor and the design editor. And the content area, that's really where you're going to plug in the content for the widget. That's where you're going to enter the phone number if it's click to call, select your pictures if it's a photo gallery. You're going to really
think about it as like functionality, right? It's like what's displayed, oh, I just logged out that quickly.
Yeah, but it's all the stuff that you're going to add in, all the content you're putting into the widget. Right? The design editor is where you're actually going to go through and control the style, the look, the presentation of the widget.
Exactly. And all of these have been kind of standardized. So you're no longer going to get different interfaces and different widgets. If you change the font, you're going to get the same font selector. If you change the text color, you're going to get the same option to change the text color. In the past, we really noticed that there were several ways to choose the font inside of Duda, and there were several ways to change the text color as examples, and we made that completely consistent across the entire design. So anytime you have a width and height slider, it's going to look exactly like this. Anytime you have a border style, it's going to look exactly like this. If I go into a widget where I can control the text, like on the button, I can go into the design and see, great, here's our button text style. We'll have these list of consistent options inside of the editor, and it's not going to be, sometimes you have a big list of icons or of fonts, sometimes you have a drop-down. We've really worked on that consistency and experience there, which just makes it faster and easier for all of you to build websites.
Yeah, and you know exactly what to look for, and it really is helpful. In addition to that, we also have now a consistent color picker.
That's right. That's one of the new things. If you notice here, if I click on color, this is going to be a single color picker that works basically across all widgets or all parts of the site. And I can come and select what color I want items to be. You'll notice that we do show you the new and current, which is something we didn't do in the past. So you can see what you're changing from and what you're changing to. Small difference, but it's really nice. And also the opacity is going to be inline here as well, just directly available.
Excellent.
Definitely. So very, very nice changes there on our site.
And I think one thing we should really show too is how we open this menu. Because let's be clear about the right click, left click thing.
Sure. So when I come to an element here, if I click left click, which for most of you is just a single click, it's going to open the content settings for that widget directly. If I do a right click, you'll see I'll get the context menu inside of that you guys are kind of used to from the existing editor.
So it's kind of opposite, right? Because it used to be in the old editor, you left click, you would get this menu.
Exactly.
And now you have to right click to get this menu. If you forget and you left click on an element, it'll open up the menu here. And we actually put in a little context menu here for you so you can get it. So you don't have to close it and jump out. So there's there's a little shortcut to that context menu if you're having troubles at all. And of course, if you click on just text, this is really nice. I think this makes it feel a lot faster. You can just click, single left click, and then you can start editing text immediately. And that feels super fast to me.
Yeah, definitely. So some good updates there.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about some expanded layout options.
Yeah, absolutely. So going into, we've updated a lot of kind of the design of our widgets and the design offerings there. And this was a lot of the feedback that we took directly from our customers. I would like to be able to change the button style in my contacts form. I want more options in the photo gallery from a design perspective. So we really took a lot of that feedback in when adding and rebuilding the editor itself here. And so let's show a few of those examples.
Mm-hmm.
So if I scroll down, this right here on the screen, this is a photo gallery, and this is actually taking advantage of one of the new layouts. We didn't have this kind of vertical style layout like we had before. So if I go into the photo gallery design, I can come and actually click on layouts, and we can see some of these new layouts, right? We have the standard grid, which is what we had in the past. We also have the kind of the side-by-side look, where we have a few smaller images on the left. Let me close the menu here so you can see. And then one big image over on the right as well. All of that looks very nice and very presentable. And also we have I think the other big one is kind of the stacked on top of each other, where you can have very large images that are stacked right on top of each other directly within here.
It's really nice.
So some very nice updates there to the photo gallery from a design perspective. Let's do the map element, because I think that's one of the very cool ones that we've done. So if I come here and we have a map element down here, we'll click on this to open, and we'll head over to design. We have a lot of great design layouts here for maps. So in the past, we only had the one kind of standard layout option, which is the kind of the yellow with blue water. And there's a lot of different design options that we can add in. And so we can do kind of a full grayscale offering of that map. We can do a colored one where kind of the watercolor is going to be different, or even kind of inverse colors as well, which is very nice. So if I leave it on this one for now, I'm going to scroll down. I can actually also come in and change the color here of this. Right now it says white, but if I want to do maybe a red color, you see I can come and change that red, or maybe we'll change it to blue because I think that might be a little better. We'll make it a little softer as an example over here, and I think that works very well for us.
I think it's so cool that you can go and customize your maps to that level of detail.
Right. Even another thing was the zoom level, very popular, very heavily requested feature. So you can now zoom in the maps as well, independently. So zoom all the way in, zoom out. Great little style settings to choose exactly the view that you want to show.
There's just a lot more control there. So let's take a look at the contact form.
Yeah, sure. So I'll head over to our contact page quickly. There's our balloons that we added a little earlier. So on our contact form, we have a few new options here. One is on the layout side. We now have some layouts. Right now, this is already taking advantage of one of the layouts, which is a more kind of flat style with just a line across the bottom for the input and then a label right up top, which is very nice. But we can also go to more of maybe a traditional style where on the left we have the label and then input boxes. We can go to the bottom of just having the input boxes with the names above, and finally just a standard input as well where everything's stacked on top of each other. So several different layouts that are available there for the contact form. Also a cool update to the contact form is the buttons itself. We now give you full control over kind of the button design of this. So changing what you want it to look like, and what kind of that main color that's going to be associated with it, which is something we didn't do in the past.
Yeah, I know you guys, a lot of you guys requested that, and it was a big, and frustrating for me sometimes because I'm a big fan of the contact form, and you couldn't get that button to look just the way you wanted it to. We now have complete control over customizing the button, not just in the contact form, but any widget that includes the button, which is fantastic.
That's right.
There's a couple more widgets I want to demo real quick. Let's take a look at the social icons.
Yeah, definitely. So we have some social icons up in the header here. One is we now allow you to rearrange these social icons, which is very nice. So if I really want to have Instagram first in the list, I can come and rearrange
so
that,
cool.
add it in. We added in Snapchat, Reddit, I think TripAdvisor is new, and also the email option as well as part of the social or contact us type element that we have here. And obviously we can come and just define exactly what my Instagram profile is or what my Twitter profile is here.
Yeah, Facebook is for old people now. All kids are on Snapchat. Let's take a look at the divider.
Yeah, definitely.
Some nice updates here.
So for the divider, I'll just come and drag a new divider in. We've added, instead of just a straight line, which is what we had in the past, we now have several different divider options. One like a zigzag type divider, kind of a mustache style as I call it, a little more fancy type options here for dividing up your content logically within a page, which is a nice little touch to be able to add and change the style of your website correctly.
Yeah, it's those little details that make a website look nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's also go into our restaurant menu.
Cool, we'll do. So I'll come in, I'll add in a restaurant menu quickly, just drag this in. I think the big thing on restaurant menu now is that we allow you to add images as one. So if I go in and say, great, here's my fresh Caesar option, I can just come and click and add in a new image. So I'll just do this, I'll search for salad as an example, and we'll go ahead and insert a salad directly in there. We now can actually see that that image is inserted inside of the menu. So we didn't have images in the past, and we do now.
Russ, what if I wanted to rearrange the order of my menu items?
That's
Do I
right.
have to delete it all and start over?
No, you can just come and drag these around and put these in different order, which is something we didn't allow you to do in the past.
That's awesome.
Which is a nice little update.
Yeah. I mean, photos of food. I mean, I think Yelp has spoiled me. I'm not eating there if I can't see what the food looks like.
That's right.
That is awesome.
Let's get into, there's one more thing, important change that I want to show right now as part of the row updates. On the row, we can actually come and add a background color overlay over this image. So if you look at this balloons picture that I have, it's pretty bright, and it has the potential to kind of distract from the actual content that I have within this row. So I can actually come and say, great, I want to add in from a row perspective, add in kind of a, sorry, I'm trying to find the option here, 1 second.
You need to add an image.
Oh, I see, I'm on the wrong row. I will add in our image here again. Wait, oh, that's a column.
No worries. No worries.
1 sec. Sorry, guys.
This is a new editor for us.
So I'll add in a background overlay
There we go.
as an option there, and then I can also make this darker as well and say, great, we'll make this darker. We can add a little bit of opacity to it and do that. So we now see that that those balloons are not so overlaying inside of the editor. Let me just remove this one quickly. There we go. So you can see, add in a little bit of darkness to that image so you can actually see the content that might be there.
That's really nice because in the past, I think the only thing that I'd be able to do is if I had text over really bright rows, I'd put like an overlay on a background on just the text, but I couldn't do it for the whole row.
Right.
And which is a good look and everything, but this is really nice.
Absolutely.
Cool. So that's a lot of changes. We went through really quick. Do we want to talk about the link picker at all?
I think we can skip that one. It's pretty straightforward update, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to the left menu. Now you guys will notice that there's something's missing from this. You don't see the word insight over here.
Right.
Instead, you see the word personalized, and that's very much on purpose. We're actually renaming Insight to personalized, or just personalization tools. We're actually kind of debranding that, and that's for two really good reasons. Number one, I think it's a little more straightforward. It's more clear what these tools are. It's personalization tools. It's personalization tools for your website, but also for you resellers out there. Insight's kind of becoming associated with the Duda brand, and we don't want to do that. So we want to be offering personalization tools. You can offer personalization tools, and that way it's not something that you have to worry about the brand identity getting confused with who this belongs to or if you're reselling Duda or not. So it's kind of a win-win as far as that goes.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
And the tools themselves are the same, right?
Yeah, all of the features are the same. So it's just you have a website personalization tool, and you have individual rules that you can go and add to your site, that dynamically change your site based on specific conditions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now they're just, instead of insight recipes, the personalization rules.
Yes, that's right.
Just it might take you longer to type it out. That's for me. All right, let's take a look. So no changes. The store, the blog are basically the same, right?
Yep. Much the same that you'd expect for. Not a lot of changes there.
Okay. And then what about settings?
Yeah. So in site settings, I think there's two big changes that we would want to go over here. One, you referenced this earlier in the new features, is the social networks image. So you can now come and tell Duda, hey, this is the image that I want to be displayed on social networks when my site is shared on those networks, right? So if you go and paste a link to your site, a little image pops up, and you want to be able to control what that image is inside Facebook or LinkedIn or Pinterest or Slack or any of these tools that will use this. This uses what's called Open Graph tags and also Twitter card as well. And these are kind of the open standards that allow these other services to recognize and see these images and grab them and pull them into their networks and their environments.
That's really cool that you can set this right in our platform, right in our editor.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Great. And the other one is we decoupled here the Site SSL option. So now Site SSL is its own area. In the past, it was under Site URL. Not a lot of changes to this. I think just the important thing is we want to reemphasize how important having an SSL certificate is for your website. And you should come and enable this and set this up for every single website that you publish and take live with Duda, as it's only going to be a benefit in the future. And it's something you'll want to have enabled as more features, as the internet moves forward.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
You know, Russ, I'm realizing that we forgot to show a new widget.
Oh.
Brand new widget that didn't exist before.
You're absolutely right, Cody. You're absolutely right.
Let's show the icon widget.
Yeah. I'll go to the menu page here quickly. And I'll come and I'll say, great. So let's add in the icon widget. So I'll come and drag this in. Icons, we know icons are very popular today. In kind of web design, you have maybe a 3-column type layout and an icon at the top, and then a little description underneath, and that icon is generally representative of what that service is or what that description is.
What's for folks who don't know, what's the difference between an icon and a picture?
Yeah, so an icon is generally a little more simplistic, right? It represents some kind of action that's happening on the website. Also, they're using a little bit of different technology here, right? They're using what's called an SVG, or Scalable Vector Graphic, and that just means that I can make this image as big or small as I want. It's always going to look good. It's not going to get pixelated, and it's kind of the standard for how you build these kind of basic elements.
And you can make it as big as you want, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't get pixelated.
Exactly, and it also allows you to change what it looks like a little bit. So we can change the color of the icon, put background to it, do things like that a little more dynamically than you would a normal picture.
Nice.
Yeah. So we have something like, I think it's about 1,000 icons inside the editor here for you to come and choose from. So I want to do maybe something like a drink. Oh, I can spell that correctly. And we'll get cups with a drink associated with it, or maybe I really want an arrow on my website, pointing forward, something like that. We can add in a little bit of an arrow into the website itself there directly. We can also come and design it a little bit. We have some layouts you might want to choose from. So maybe have a background color behind that icon. Maybe put a circle border around it, and then set some of those colors. So say, great, change color scheme here. Maybe I want to choose like a yellow, something along those lines. I'm not a fan of that, so we'll go back to black. I can say, great, let's make the background color something bright that kind of stands out here directly, and we'll raise the opacity.
Nice.
Absolutely.
And it's really cool that you can go in and change that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds a little bit of flexibility to the overall image or icon that you're writing in.
Nice. Well, you guys use it up, and you can use the icons from the library, and you can upload your own SVGs, right?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Nice. Excellent. Well, I think that's most of the stuff.
Shall we switch back to our deck?
I think we should.
Great.
Let's skip down a few slides.
Yeah, we have a bunch of slides just kind of covering what we just covered, guys. SSL, and then Let's talk about some of the missing features here. We'll go to the full presentation.
Yeah, so there's some stuff that wasn't included in this. This is the first release of the new editor. So multi-language, localization, contact form integrations, and that's that third tab over the contact form. That's getting to connect with MailChimp, Constant Contact, or Webhooks or Google Sheets. That will be all coming by the end of December, right, Ronnie?
Yeah.
And then onto location of Facebook album and push notifications later.
We will have them before we sunset the old editor, for sure. I think our plan is, January, February timeframe that we'll have them. And so that is going to be an option. It's just we pushed them out a little bit so we could get this new editor out to you guys as soon as possible instead of delaying the overall delivery further.
So you said sunset the new editor, or sunset the old editor. Does that mean still have access? I think that's a good segue in for next one.
I think so. Maybe that's intentional, Cody.
Yeah, so we put together some questions that we think you guys might want to know the answers to, and that is, can you go back to the old editor if you want to?
Yeah, the answer is yes. If I just tab over quickly, in the new editor, we have a toggle right at the top left that allows you to switch back to that old editor if you really want to add in notifications, or if you really want to add in Facebook albums. You can switch back while it's temporarily unavailable and add that into your site directly.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have to do that too often.
That's right. So we are currently planning to sunset the old editor at the end of February. So we have until, we have about 2.5 months here until that old editor will no longer be available. But from our perspective, we think the new editor is really high quality. We're really proud of the work that we've done to roll this out and really update the experience. We think it's ready for everyone to use and build websites on top of now. And so we would recommend using this new editor as the default experience, and then only if you need to switch back for these these 4 or 5 use cases that you really need to access for the old editor.
That's good advice. I think it's ready too. So some people might be wondering, will the new editor work with any site that they have, regardless how old it is?
Yeah, absolutely. So any responsive website that you've built in the platform is going to work, and it's backwards compatible with those. So you can use some of these new design features that we showed in existing sites already. If you want to add in those background color overlays to some of your sites, or you want to add in images into your restaurant menu, like you can come and do that now with the new editor on your existing sites.
So I think a lot of people, after seeing the demo and everything today, seeing the demo, like, wow, it's so beautiful, it's 40% faster, they're throwing money at their screens, saying like, hey, we should pay 40% more for this.
Money.
Is there going to be any changes in pricing? Is the price going to go up now that we have the new technology?
Yeah, no, we're not changing any of the pricing here, guys. Pricing is going to be the exact same. I think from our side, we hope that building websites becomes easier and faster for you as part of this. So maybe you'll build more websites with Duda, but pricing of what we have today is not changing in any way.
Yeah, we're not trying to milk it out of you. We just want to make you guys more productive. Go build more sites, then we'll make more money that way.
Yeah, we all make more money that way.
Exactly. What about for folks who are resellers who have staff or customers? How does it work with giving the new editor to them or controlling that process? How does that work?
So there's a toggle inside of the brand settings on your dashboard that allows you to say, hey, is this new editor on or off for my customers? And if it's on, they'll see the new editor by default, and they'll have that toggle to switch back and forth between the new and the old one. And then you can turn it off and just default them back to the old one if you'd like. But most people are going to see the new editor as part of the default update here now.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, what browsers does this new editor work on?
Yeah, so it's definitely supported on Chrome, Firefox, the newest version of Safari, and Opera as well. It does work on IE Edge, or Internet Explorer Edge, and then we're working on support for IE 11 as well. So most of the major browsers that are out there today, if you're running something a little bit older, you might run into some problems, but for the most part, most of the browsers that Duda's customers use are supported out of the box.
Well, fantastic. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. That's going to be it for our presentation. So now if you have some questions, we've got about 15 minutes left. We're right on schedule, actually. That's pretty good. We've got about 15 minutes left for Q&A. So if you have questions, type them into the box, and we'll do our best to get through and answer as many as we can.
Yeah. From about the time the webinar started, Alyssa asked us, hi, I have an important question. I hope you can answer. With the old editor, once in a while the page would go unresponsive. You'll have to wait or kill with the new builder. It happens near constantly. I've tried updating and reinstalling. It looks like you've tried to have several different browsers here. So for this one, Alyssa, if you can reach out to our support team about this, send them an email and tell them some details about what browser you're using and if there's any extensions or things like that that you're using. Let us know, and we can try and investigate exactly what's going on there. I'm not going to be able to troubleshoot over a webinar, unfortunately.
Yeah. William's asking if a copy of the webinar or slide deck will be available after the presentation. Absolutely. We'll be sending you guys a replay to everyone who registered. We're recording the webinar, so you get a replay in the email tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Debbie is asking, are all of the effects that I see in some of the templates usable in every template, or are some effects unique to the template? No. So when Duda builds templates, we build them using our editor itself. So any of the effects that you see within templates, we're going to make sure that you can add and take advantage of them with the new editor. So you shouldn't worry about any of that or any of the effects with the templates themselves.
And Terrence says, love the new editor. Thank you, Terrence.
Let's see, our next question.
So I've been looking at these questions sort of while you were talking because I actually know the editor. Thanks for a great presentation, guys. I think one of the main question I see across the board is about the backward compatibility that you just talked about. You just need to know that all the sites, no matter which template or which or when did you build it, you will open it in the new editor. It will work perfectly, and you can just add stuff to it. Putting aside the 3 widgets that we just talked about, but they will be added in the next few months. So yes, just use it.
Great. Thanks, Ronnie. Roberto is asking, do you have image/photo optimization in your new platform? If not, how do you do that with the new platform? Roberto, this is actually a feature we've had for a while. When you upload an image to Duda, we go and we multi-size the image, so we resize it 5 times, and then we also compress the image as well to make it a little bit smaller. And so whenever you upload an image to Duda, we're doing that optimization automatically in the background, and it's just part of how our platform works.
Roberto's also asking, right-click, left-click. I have a Mac, no buttons. How do you do that on a Mac? Mm-hmm. If you have a MacBook, everyone here at Duda has Apples, at least in the U.S. office.
I'm demoing on an Apple right now.
Yeah, we're using one right now. You can right-click. You can enable on your trackpad. Just double tap to right-click.
2 fingers, right?
Yeah, 2-finger tap. Or you can also enable in the settings, right-click on the right side of your trackpad. Or you can plug in a non-Apple mouse. You can do it that way too. Or if you refuse to do that, you can hold down the Control key while you click, and that will be a right-click.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Jeanette is saying, does a mobile version of Duda Control Panel exist to modify a mobile responsive site on a mobile device? No, unfortunately, we do not have like some sort of mobile app that lets you modify your site on your phone. Just not something that we have in the works right now.
It is on our roadmap, though.
It is on our roadmap. We actually, I've seen a functioning one at a hackathon, but it's just not something that we have available right now.
Yeah. Terrence is asking us, Cody, do we have a white label editor walkthrough for our existing customers?
That's a good question. So we do have support articles for the new editor up on both Duda's Help Center at help.dudamobile.com, as well as white label articles available at support.multiscreensite.com. We've got about 100 articles walking through all the aspects of using the new editor. So they're up there. Go check them out, as well, including a new editor overview with screenshots and everything that you need.
Annette is asking asking two questions about SEO and hosting. For hosting of Duda, all the websites that you build on the Duda platform are hosted by Duda directly. It's built into the way we serve and deliver and render our websites, so you don't need to worry about any kind of hosting with Duda. We take care of that. And SEO, we think that we're industry leaders in the website space for SEO. We do a very good job at optimizing our sites to be SEO friendly and adhere to a lot of the technical best practices there. But a lot of SEO is also in your hands as well, of the content that you add to the site and making sure that you set the page titles and page descriptions and how you're getting links back to your website as well. So two sides to the coin there.
John is asking a great question, so on existing Duda sites, do they upgrade to this automatically, or do they have to create a new site to get the new editor?
Right.
And I think we kind of touched on this, but yeah, any site that you have can use the new editor. So you don't need to create a new site. All your old sites will work on the new editor. Mm-hmm. One quick question from Patty: are all the tutorials updated with the new stuff? Yeah, so all the tutorials on Help Center are updated, and also all the in-product help is ready too. So you can click on the question marks throughout the new editor if you run into a spot where you've got some questions. Click the question mark, and the in-product help will open up with a relevant article for you.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time doing that.
That's true. That's been Cody's job for the past 2 months.
So if you want to email in about how great the support is, the support articles are, I would be upset with you.
They are awesome, Cody.
Bob is asking, in the past, I found going between the Insights tool and the pop-ups in the page editor confusing. Has that been addressed? So Bob, I think what you're referring to is getting pop-ups to display and setting them up through Insights. From our side, that flow hasn't changed too much with the new editor. You can still go and create new pop-ups, as part of creating a new insight. But I think we would love to hear a little more detailed feedback from you and what you found confusing. Was it hard to find the pop-up that you made, or what exactly? I think that'll help Ronnie and the rest of our product team as well.
Frank has a pretty good idea here. He says, on the menu, is it possible to insert a text box? The pre-made menu didn't have this in the previous editor. And right now, if you want to add a text box, you actually have to go to the widgets menu and drag and drop a paragraph in. I understand it would be pretty convenient to be able to just right-click and just say insert text box. It's not something that we currently have. I don't know if that'll be part of the editor at any point. I know it's certainly not part of it now. But Ronnie's here. She heard that idea.
I heard that.
Mike was asking, where can I favorite widgets? I think this is a good question. We don't have a way to favorite widgets themselves, but you'll notice inside of the new widgets panel that we added here, I'll go back to the editor quickly and show this. In the widget panel, if I come and click on the widgets, you do see you have the frequently used, which are things that you've used recently. So for me and my machine, I've used an image recently, I've used icons, I used custom HTML to add into the site. And so that's populating based on my usage of the widgets. And so that should help, over time, show the most useful ones.
Mm-hmm. It's just really super convenient.
Yeah.
Can I use this to create a landing page? Malcolm is asking. Absolutely, you can use the Duda editor to create a landing page. It depends on what you define a landing page as. So if you want to create a page on your site that doesn't appear in the navigation, that doesn't have navigation to other sites, you can add other parts of your site. You can absolutely do that. Create a new page, hide it in the navigation, and then make sure to remove the navigation from that page. And that can be a standalone landing page. If you want to build a separate site as a landing page, or just as a splash page for some other purpose on a separate domain, you can go for that as well.
Definitely. Beth is asking, hi Cody, sometimes when I am trying to add an image into a row, I will make it a header image, but then there's still an empty column in the row, but I put it underneath. Is there a way to have no columns in a row or delete all columns?
Well, your row has to contain at least one column.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, but that column does not have to contain any content.
That is correct. So you could just have a background image there, maybe set a little bit of padding on it,
Yeah, exactly.
to put a little spacing there. But yeah, you don't need to have content there, definitely.
Yeah. Bob is saying nice photo gallery changes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Also, thanks for the webinar. Good stuff. Oh, thanks, Bob. Can we add? Oh, Bass is asking, can we add the Google Directions facility to a map? Google Directions.
So, Bass, for this one, what you might want to do is, within the map element, we give you the option to choose whether you want to display it as a button or like a map embed on your site. So if you're trying to give someone directions, just use it as a button. Maybe that's a mobile-only type feature. And that way they can click on it and open Google Maps on their phone to get directions to where they want to go.
Right. And then you can, yeah, like Rose was saying, you can choose that just for mobile or just, you know.
Exactly.
How did you get that moving image with the dressing pouring over the salad of the map section?
Ah, yes. So this is actually something we probably skipped, Cody.
Oh, yeah.
It's a small feature change. Maybe not so small, but you can select columns within Duda. So if I click on this icon, I can actually come and select the container and select the surrounding column around it. And I can go and say edit the design and actually set a background video there for this row or for this column specifically. So that example that they were talking about there is on that column, Duda just put a background image, or sorry, a background video on that one column there, just on that left side.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep, and that's an actual video of someone just putting a ton of dressing on some salad, just all over the place. You can also do background videos and pop-ups too.
Yeah, that's right.
Which Russ and I were experimenting with it the other day. We made a pretty
cozy little fire.
A little fireplace pop-up. It was pretty awesome. Let's see. Joe's asking, can you have multiple locations in a map?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have a multi-location widget. It's available in the old editor and will be available in the new one shortly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd recommend using the multi-location feature for that, Joe.
Let's see. Someone's asking, why do you not have calendars for events? What is the technical or industry reason for this? Why don't we have calendars for events?
I think because from our side, there are a lot of really good third-party tools out there that do this. You can embed Google Calendar. There's Calendly, something like that, that does this. There's a few services that allow you to embed Google Maps, and I think we feel that they probably do it a little better than we could. And so we would recommend that you use the calendar services that are going to work best for your use case and your setup, which is probably why Duda has not built that. And so that would be kind of the industry reason.
Mm-hmm. Susan says, y'all rock. You rock, Susan. Thank you. Malcolm saying, text shortcode to create a campaign to build client list over future marketing to have this service.
No, Malcolm's asking, like, can we get people to input their phone number and get them to sign up for like SMS marketing type stuff?
But by texting a short code.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's something that you wouldn't need Duda for. I mean, since we're focusing on the website, that's like you're going to need like a text marketing service for that.
Yeah. Joe is asking, can you choose where you put the CAPTCHA on the form versus always at the bottom? So no, we only allow that CAPTCHA to be at the bottom of the form right before the submit button. We feel that's kind of the best practice of where we could fit it in to our designs of the contact form itself. And so it's always going to be at the bottom there.
Bob is saying only old people resemble that remark. Yeah, sorry, Bob. I don't. To be fair, I don't even really use Facebook, so like I never did. I'm too old for Facebook. I'm like, screw that. It's a fad. So I go. Jennifer is saying, hello, on the header I can't seem to be able to change the column widths. If I click on the green divider and try to move it, it only goes so far. I hope this makes sense.
It does make sense, and you should be able to change the column width in the header itself. So you'll see here, if I hover over the column, I get the little option to change the width there of how much that column is. But if you have questions about that, shoot an email to our support team, and they should be able to guide you and give you some direction on how you can do that too for your specific site.
Yeah. Robin saying would love to see house in social icons. What's house?
House is it's like a housing design company, as I recall. They help you like design like living rooms and things like that. Is my understanding.
It's
a great service. I know that. I know.
great service.
Yeah. We should add house. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
John is asking, the old editor or email never sent emails to the inboxes of the addresses input. Does this new system work better? John, yes, it should, but with the old editor, we still should be able to get emails delivered to you or your customers. If you're having problems with that, shoot our team an email and we can troubleshoot what's going on there.
Yeah, there's also, I mean, if you're having issues with the email, there's additional ways that you can deliver that data to your customers too. You can always download form responses in a CSV, and with the contact form integrations, you can actually go and put them into Google Sheets or have them sent over through a webhook into like some chat or a CRM service. So there's a lot of stuff you can do for customers with the contact forms.
Mm-hmm. Bass is asking, does the API change at all with the new editor? And the answer is no. There's no changes to the API as part of this. Everything is still fully supported there.
Let's see. Dave's asking, can you use personalization tools to change your header image based on time of day?
Good question. We would not have a way to change like the header, like the image or the logo directly. You could potentially set it up to display a new row of content as the header, but
can you like hide the header and then show a new row at the top?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not a full solution. It's kind of a workaround a little bit. But
yeah, you might be able to get it done, but it would definitely be a workaround.
Yeah.
Malcolm is asking, YouTube video on a site, how is this done on your site? Pretty simply, actually. We did make an update to the video widget, so you can drag and drop that into your site and just copy-paste the YouTube video URL or the Vimeo video URL, and then we'll go ahead and automatically embed that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're not Judah is just embedding the video inside of the website itself, so we're not doing any of that hosting or anything.
Bass is asking, SSL, can you still offer an option for visitors not to use SSL as before?
Absolutely.
And Bogdan is asking, who provides the SSL certificate?
We do. We work with a company or organization called Let's Encrypt to actually provision these certificates, and it's done automatically as part of the platform. So any domain that's pointed to our platform, we can generate a certificate for and set it up and install it very easily.
We don't just work with them; we're actually a sponsor of Let's Encrypt. Yes,
we thought it was a very important initiative to sponsor, and so we backed them financially.
Yeah, we're officially backing that initiative. So trying to make the web a better place. How much more time do we have for questions?
Yeah, we're running a little short on time. Let's do a few more questions, Cody.
Okay. Linda has a good question here. What is meant by localization? So to be clear, that means right now the new editor is only available in English. Localization means translating the editor into additional languages like Spanish or Turkish or German. Or
that's just the editing interface, right?
Just
we're talking about like the left panels and the pop-up menus and things like that.
Yeah, we should have been a little bit more clear about that. So yeah, right now the new editor is only available in English, and we're translating it into additional languages, and we'll have it available in additional languages in the future.
Yeah. John is asking, can you upload custom design buttons? Yeah, I think our recommendation for that would be to upload just an image of that custom design and then use that image as a link to go to whatever site or whatever page you want to show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
DeWitt is saying Constant Contact isn't integrated after you do the webinar. Oh, they'll be integrated by the end of the month. It's just it's part of the contact form. There's integrations. There's Constant Contact, MailChimp, Google Sheets, webhooks. There's a lot of them, and that's like one of my favorite parts of the editor, and that's all coming over later this month.
Yeah, it's not a dropped feature. It's just not available yet.
Just not available yet.
Yeah. James is asking, are you adding a third-party developer tool to coding your own widgets? The answer is yes. This is a future thing that Duda is working on. We're hoping to have it out sometime in the new year, probably February, March, something like that is what we're hoping for. But yeah, we're going to allow people to build their own widgets and make them available just for their customers.
Nice.
Another question a lot of people are asking here is about the customized social icons, if you can add something on your own. At the moment, you cannot. It's definitely something that we will add in the future, but basically now you can use the icons that we have, or you can use the icon widget that was just presented, and you can use any icon over there.
Got it.
And direct it to any links that you want.
David has a good question. He says, with Google PageSpeed Insights, we're clocking some pretty slow results on some of our sites, which is a concern, especially on mobile, since people may bounce off quickly when not on Wi-Fi connection. Aside from optimizing and compressing images, is there any recommendations you guys provide for eliminating render blocking JavaScript or minifying HTML code to help our sites pass the speed test with even better results? David, that is an excellent question, and I can't tell you a lot, but I can tell you that this is something that we're very much aware of, and you will hear from Duda about within the next 2 to 3 months. We're working on making optimizations to make our sites a lot faster and to dramatically improve the page speed. And this is something that we're going to improve and let you guys all know about hopefully very soon. So it's definitely in the works. So there's not much you can do from a client side about the render blocking JavaScript and minifying HTML. It's something we have to do, and we're definitely looking at it.
Yes. What Cody said.
Yes.
All right, guys. I think we're out of time. We know we didn't get to every question here, but we really appreciate you guys coming out, checking out the new editor, listening to us talk for an hour. I really enjoyed it, and thank you again.
Yeah, thank you guys again. Full replay of this webinar will be emailed to each and every one of you tomorrow. We've got articles up on the Help Center at help.dudamobile.com. If you're using the new editor, you run into any bugs, please report them to our support team so that we know and we can make the editor even better. So again, thank you so much. And yeah, have a great day. Thank you, Ronnie, for joining.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.